Nittany Line Roar with Extreme Panda here, and today I'm going to show you how to put emblems on a costume the right way. So first of all, congratulations, you got a costume that you really wanted. You've maxed the costume and the regular hero, and now you're ready to put emblems on it. But it is not super straightforward or intuitive. For a lot of you who have already done this, you've probably figured it out by now. But just in case you haven't, or maybe you haven't put emblems on a costume yet, I'm going to show you what to do to make sure that you're doing it right. Now, let's talk a little bit about class and talents first, and that will help to make the emblems make more sense. So with the regular hero, what we've been doing all along is when we get enough emblems, we go into the talent grid, and then we choose a path to go for the regular hero. And you can only use emblems that correspond with the class that hero is. So for example, June is a monk. All right, but you're going to notice that the costume is a different class. So for example, the June costume is a fighter class. So which emblems am I going to use here? Am I going to use fighter emblems or am I going to use monk emblems? It doesn't matter which path I take on either one of these. I'm going to be using monk emblems, because if you go into the talent grid on this side, you're going to see I can't do anything. It says costumes have the same talent grid progress as the hero. Go to the talent grid of the hero to edit the talents. So I don't need fighter emblems for costume June. I need monk emblems. And I'm going to be putting them on regular June, and it's going to affect the costume June. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. But what I think is really cool about that, in particular with June, is that the fighter class is really, really good. It's one of the best. I like that class a lot. But I'm going to be able to use monk emblems, which I think the monk class isn't quite as good. I think that you can use emblems that aren't quite as good to make a hero better on the costume. So check out what class the costumes are compared to the regular side of the hero, because you can really take advantage of that. Now you can have more fighters, and you can have more paladins and things that way. So first of all, let me go to my Drake and reset, because I want these monk emblems. Okay. And I'm going to go back to June and show you how to do this. All right. First of all, you have to decide which one of these do you want to use. There's a benefit to leveling up a hero whether you want to actually use the costume side of it or not. And that benefit is that it increases the attack, defense, and HP stat. For both of them, they're better on both sides than they were without the costume. So there is a benefit to leveling up the costume, even if you want to still use the regular side of the card. Now, if you want to use the costume side more, you're going to have to look at the talent grid and which way the talents go and memorize it, and then go back to the regular one to actually do it, right? So I have decided that I want to use costume June more because I like the fighter class the best. And really, the special's not that different. It's a little bit different, but it's not that different. So I would rather go with the better class in this case. So I'm going to look at the talent grid, and the first one doesn't matter because we have to pick that. But I'm going to look at this, and one of June's weaknesses, like this is a tremendous weakness of June, is his defense stat. Yeah, that's pretty low for a 5-star hero, especially even with a costume on. That's pretty low. So I'm definitely going to want to focus on defense for costume June. So I know that I want to take the left route here, especially because I think choosing a side that has defense and attack is usually what you want to do whenever you're embleming a hero. So let's start with that. I'm going to go back to the regular side because remember, I want the emblems to be reflective of costume June, not regular June. I have to remember that I want to go left, okay? So I'm going to go back to regular June, and take note of this. Do you see how regular June, the optimal defense attack stats are on the right, but I want to go left for fighter. So I'm going to go left. Now let's go back to the costume. And do you see how for the costume, that's the correct one. I went left because I wanted it to be reflective of the costume. Okay, now which route do we take? This one's a little bit harder because I like both attack and I like both defense as well. I'm going to have to choose left or right here because either one I'm going to be increasing the HP. So I'm going to scroll down and see which one, which node comes first. Okay, the defense multiplier. So I'm going to focus on defense first. So I'm going to go right this time. I'm going to go back to the regular one and remember to go right. Okay, so let's go back to the costume, make sure that worked out. So I got defense attack, and then I got defense HP, so that's good. And for the costume, we're going to have an HP multiplier first on the left, and then a defense node again, and then a defense multiplier. So I definitely want to go left. I'm probably going to need a little bit more resources before I do this. So I've been letting this run for a while. I'm just going to load up again before I try to use any more resources. This still might not even be enough because this is a pretty big jump. But let's go back, double check it. I want to go left. Got to be really careful with it. Okay, so we can go left. Can I keep going? All right. And now I'm running out of resources. So when we go back to the costume, we chose left first, then we chose right, then we chose left, and that's exactly what we want it to be. So that's how you emblem a costume the right way. And now for a little bit of bonus material, just because I know people are going to ask in the comments, which way would I take the costume June route the rest of the way? Well, this is just a personal preference, but once I get to this first defense node, I've already built up the defense enough that it's going to get the multiplier, so then I usually like to switch to the attack node if that's coming up, which is the last one. So if I go down through this, I'm still going to have times where I hit defense, even though I'm choosing attack most of the time. Like over here, there's 2 more to go. So this is going to get June up into the upper 700s with defense, which is pretty good. And the attack stat is going to be just super high once I hit the attack multiplier. Right now it's 31, but that'll keep going up if I keep selecting the attack node. So when I have a sniper like this, I like it to just be able to kill an opposing hero, basically on demand. So that's what is going to be most useful for me in this particular situation. I might not always make that decision depending on the hero, but I see myself either using Costume June as a wing hero on defense, in which case it's better to have the attack stat as high as possible, or I'm going to be using him as a sniper on offense, most certainly, in which case it's good to have both high defense and attack, and that's going to happen just naturally by putting emblems on and focusing on both defense and attack. All right, well, I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did, and I will catch you next time.